I wanted to give you a quick video tour of the Modal Messages management system that I've created for the TFL site. This is not available on the main site yet. This is only on the staging server and maybe on test one wherever I install it. Right now you're seeing this from my local Macintosh. I'm in my test site, local test site on my Mac of the TFL site. I'm in the administration area. Down at the bottom you'll see a new area right under HubSpot Forms. It's called Modal Messages. I've actually created my first test message. Let me walk through this real quickly with you. All of it's pretty self-explanatory. I've given you some default information here that should help lead you through each step of putting together a modal message. First is the title. This title will appear in the modal window that pops up, so just make sure that you understand that whatever you type there is going to show to the browser. The modal message itself is defined here. This is an HTML field, so you can put HTML images, styling, whatever you want to in this particular window. A start date you'll enter here with the calendar. An end date you'll enter down here with the calendar. The cookie name here, you probably won't have to deal with that at all because the cookie name is based on whatever you typed up here for your modal title. So this fills in automatically when you type in this. And it's the same thing that happens when you type in a broadcast and it creates an automatic slug for it. This is actually a slug field down here. This will be the name of the cookie that is set to prevent a particular modal from showing. That cookie will live in the person's browser for this number of days. I've got it defaulted to 7, I believe. That automatically comes up. You can set it to any number of days you want to. But this is how long the My First Message cookie will live in a person's browser. And as long as this cookie is present in that person's browser, this modal window, this modal message will not pop up on the site anywhere. This cookie is triggered when they close the modal window for the first time on the site. The page where the message will appear, and this is the path to the specific page where you want this modal window to pop up. I've defined a particular page, Resources Sermon. You could have this modal window pop up site-wide, available on any page, so that a person could come from anywhere and use any page on the site as a landing page, and they would see that this particular modal window pop up. For right now, we'll just say that it's going to appear on one page. The trigger, we're going to come back and fill that in just a little bit later, and I'll show you how you can actually attach the modal window to a specific link or image that you click and it will trigger the modal window. Turn it off down here. If there's some reason that you only want this particular modal message to appear in mobile devices or desktop computers, you can choose one of those two. The default is both kinds of devices. So we've got our start date, end date, we've got a modal message, we've got a title, we've got a cookie life defined. So let's save this. Now we're going to go to, this is the test site on my local computer, Resources Sermon page. When we load that, we should see that modal message pop up automatically. And indeed we do. There it is. We close the modal window either by the X, by clicking the X, or clicking on close. Doesn't matter. Either one will work. Close that. Reload this page. The modal window doesn't pop open anymore. Why? Because now we have a cookie that has been set called My First Message in the browser. That, of course, corresponds with the My First Message cookie name over here. And as long as this cookie lives in this browser, that particular modal will not open again for that particular person. So it's a good way to make sure that modal windows aren't pesky to site visitors. Let's go back. First of all, let me delete this cookie so that we can go back and reload that modal window again. But we're going to change it this time. Instead of a particular page that we want it to appear on, we're just going to say appear site-wide. Whatever page I land on, I want this modal window to pop up automatically. Save it. We come back here to the sermon archive, or we're on the sermon archive page. Let's go to another page. Let's go to the home page. Today, and the modal window pops up again. Number one, because I deleted that cookie, and number two, now this modal message will pop up on any page on the site as long as that cookie is not set in the person's browser. So let's close it again, reload the page. The modal message will not pop up again because my first message cookie is back again. So let's delete that once again so that we can continue to test for this. Now I want to show a little alternative way of causing the modal window to trigger or to pop up. What if you don't want it to pop up automatically on a page? What if you actually want the browser, the visitor, to click on an image or a link or some other element on the page to trigger the modal window? That's where this field comes in. What you put in here is the HTML ID of a link, an image, a div, whatever, which when clicked will trigger the modal message to pop up. How do you find that? Well, I've put up here at the top, I've just included a little test link that says show the modal. Let me show you that real quickly. There's the link itself, and it has an ID of showmod, S-H-O-W-M-O-D. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to come back here. Let's close this window. Page where the message will appear. We're going to still make it site-wide, but we're going to trigger it with the element that has the ID of showmod. We're going to save this now. We're going to go back. We're going to reload the page. And let me check for a cookie here just for a second. Make sure that I deleted that cookie that keeps this particular modal window from displaying. Make sure I've deleted that cookie so this demonstration will actually work. I've reloaded the page. We've got this little link up here that says show the modal. This link has the ID of showmod. I've taken that ID from this link, put it in, and associated it with this particular modal message down here. So now when I click on this link, we've got our modal message coming up. This will work for a link, it'll work for an image, it'll work for a div, anything that's clickable. If you assign them an HTML ID that you enter then back in here for this particular modal window in the admin area, then this modal will be linked to a click on that particular HTML element with that particular ID. Now let's just turn off this modal message completely. And I'm going to go and make sure that I've deleted that particular my first message. Of course, it reposted that cookie after I clicked off the modal window last time, so we're going to delete that again. I've turned off that particular modal message for the whole site. It should not appear again anywhere. It didn't load automatically when I reloaded this window. It's not showing when I click on this link. Kendron had it set up to where I think there's one that showed down here when you click on that. That one is not showing either. If I go to the resources page, the sermons page, it's not showing up there. So that modal, this modal now, my first message, will not show up anywhere on the site. One other thing I need to make clear is that when you define a page path where you want a modal to appear on the site, a page path defined in a modal message always will make this modal message take precedence over site-wide modals on this particular page. So if I had 3 or 4 other modal messages defined, all of them were site-wide messages, and this is the only one that I had defined for the resources sermon page, this modal would always pop up on the resources sermon page, and none of the site-wide modals would, because this modal is defined specifically for that particular page, so it always will take precedence on that particular page. And again, once the user clicks the close or the X button in the modal window, that will set a cookie in the browser, and of course that modal, whether it's got a path defined or whether it's site-wide, that modal will not show up again. Other modals might pop up then. A site-wide modal might pop up on that page again. But this particular modal will not pop up on the resources sermon page again once that cookie is set. So hope this has been somewhat helpful. I'm sure there will be questions and probably some other features that you'd like to see added, but I think this is a good start. Enjoy.